Ano yun? Pikit lang. Dapat pala dito. Oo. Ito kaya, ano yung pagkain na lang? Parang lalagyan ng mula. Ito ba yun? Lapit lang yun, baka yung basura. Orang lapit lang. Ibig sabihin, no? Basurahan nata. Sa Lilod kung saan may basurahan. Sa Lilod, no? Doon kayo ilang kilometros ba? Mga 1 kilometer na po. Uy, mga bahay mo. Diyan lang na, no? Diyan sa kalsada lang. Smart ba na?
Ang heavy picture ko tayo sa'yo. Sulat ko lang, sir, para hindi ako magkamali. Thomas po. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is our, I guess, the 55th day of the Marawi siege. So we will give you the fresh update on the ongoing operations, both, I guess, both the military and the civilian authorities. But before that, I would like to acknowledge we are joined by one of the in charge of the rehabilitation of Marawi City, civilian and military operation, Colonel Thomas Sedano, to brief us, again, I guess, to brief us with the military updates. together with Colonel Herrera, your usual friend. So before we give you the update on the relief, rescue, and retrieval operation of our teams, the Provincial Crisis Management Committee, I'd like just to read joint statement by the Provincial Crisis Management Committee and the Task Group Ranao. The Provincial Crisis Management Committee and Task Group Ranao is currently in dialogue with CSO, People's Organization, religious leaders, and other stakeholders relative to the growing concern of our IDPs in Iligan City wanting to return to their homes in the city of Marawi. We truly understand this concern, as it is not only valid, but it is in fact shared by many of us here who are also victims and IDPs brought about by this ongoing armed conflict. Since this crisis that struck Marawi is not a natural calamity, but a man-made calamity, primary considerations need to be addressed, like the safety of all returning residents of Marawi, which is the topmost priority of both our civilian and military authorities. In view of this consideration, the provincial government of Lanao del Sur, together with the city government of Marawi, have already designed a mechanism to address this growing concern of our IDPs in Iligan City. In order to decongest the city of Iligan, we encourage, and we have in close coordination already with the municipal mayors around Lake Lanao, to host our evacuees who are originally from the municipalities before residing in the city of Marawi. Again, this is also to decongest Iligan and also to distribute the responsibility of looking after the welfare of our IDPs with continuing support from national agencies such as DSWD, DOH, and others. So let me reiterate again, our primary concern is the safety of our returning evacuees from Iligan, and in line with this, we have already set up a mechanism designed for the safety of our returning evacuees, and also to be hosted by the municipalities around Lake Lanao. In connection to this, we also would like to re-examine the practice of giving the same relief packages to all our evacuees by the different levels of government, national, regional, and provincial in the city, to respond accurately based on the actual needs, and also to complement the regional convergence of DSWD and DOH insofar as giving out non-food and food provisions to our almost 400,000 evacuees scattered in Iligan City, Cagayan de Oro City, and other parts of the country. So, the latest update on our relief operations, the PSWD, as of July 13, the home-based IDPs in Iligan have the total number of 37,459. These are the number of families we have served. We have provided them 35,395 food packs, 2,859 dignity kits, 2,153 bed sheets, 2,041 mosquito nets, 29 laminated bags, 741 mineral waters, 251 malongs, and 5 towels to each of the families situated in various evacuation centers, in the 5 evacuation centers in Iligan City. The IDPs also in the evacuation centers are totaling to 7,628 families. These are the IDPs in the evacuation centers with total number of 7,628 families. One in Sagiaran, we have 1,200. At Santa Elena Gymnasium, 832. At Tibanga Gymnasium, 101. At Maria Cristina Gymnasium, 1,179. At Buruon Fisheries, 794. Dasalan College, San Roque, 32. Buruon School, 536 families. Buruon Gym, 109 families. and at Morena Integrated School, 645 families, with a total number of 7,628 families already served by the Provincial Social Welfare and Development by this province. So again, we have already, as of July 13, distributed both food and non-food provisions to 35,459 families, both in the evacuation centers and home-based IDPs in Iligan City. So the total number of rescued civilians as of yesterday is 1,753 civilians. Thank you. Colonel Herrera. Q&A. So let's proceed with the Q&A. Any questions? The mechanism for that but right now we are conducting a dialogue with the civilian with the CSOs, religious leaders, in order to make certain that the safety will not be compromised. And number two, that there are also concerns from our IDPs in Iligan City that the distribution of goods, because in Iligan City, the focus of our relief distributions, especially those donations that are coming outside of Marawi, have been put in place in Iligan City, and the concentration of donations are in Iligan City. So we have received complaints from the IDPs in our evacuees that certain provisions are not fully distributed to the actual IDPs in the evacuation centers. So to unburden Iligan City and also to make certain the equal distribution of our food items, donations, especially donations, we are trying to move them and to municipalities across Lake Lanao in order to, again, number one, to unburden Iligan City, and also to have a direct link and access from the province going to the local municipalities of each of municipalities around the lake para mas swift and mas fast yung delivery ng kanilang mga provisions and lahat ng mga binibigay natin sa kanilang mga donations. So, yun po yung sineset up po natin.
Actually, this is part of the collaboration effort between the military and the local government unit para lalong palakasin yung pagbuklod-buklod ng local government unit and the military. We believe that the mayors, especially dun sa mga malapit sa lakeshore, are capable to undertake this humanitarian effort. Nakita kasi natin dito yung mga ibang evacuees na hindi from Marawi but they're from adjacent municipalities. Ito ay resulta ng continuous engagement na ginagawa ng Armed Forces of the Philippines and the local government unit to address certain issues. At nagpapakita ito ng malakas na at matatag na samahan dahil yung pagkonsulta sa stakeholders ay napaka-importante. Another thing is we fully understand the sentiments of our IDPs. Kaya nga yung ating mga traditional leaders ay bumababa na rin sa IDPs to engage, makipag-usap upang alamin yung mga issues. So, this is very effective at we will continue this as part of our mandate to protect the people and of course provide basic services sa ating mga kababayan. Well, naging part na rin ito ng ating mechanism. We provided security blanket, especially dun sa ating mga municipalities. The mayors, the barangay captains, yung mga local chief executives natin ay talagang binibet o tinitignan din yung mga tao. Because ang importante kasi dito, Ron, is partnership na ginagawa natin in addressing a certain crisis like this is napaka-importante yung role ng communities and the local chief executives, especially on peace and security. Remember, peace and security is a shared responsibility. At ito ang ating ginagawa upang ma-address yung crisis na especially the ongoing Marawi rebellion.
Ron, let me add to that, no. Actually, itong setup na design na ito prior to yung sinabi yung complaint na lumabas from our IDPs in Iligan. Matagal na itong ongoing ito na mekanismo, no. Yung engagement ng ating civilian authorities, pati na rin ang military, ang task of now is ongoing, no. At nakita nga natin na dapat may participation ang ating mga local government units sa mga munisipyo para i-host ang kanilang ang IDP sa Iligan. Dahil karamihan kasi ng mga IDPs dyan, although residents sila ng Marawi City, are originally from other towns. Nangyari na nga ito, ang Taraca, Municipality of Taraca, na kinuha na niya yung kanyang mga constituents dyan sa Iligan at nandun na sila sa Taraca. Ang Municipality of Bacolod, Calawi ay kinuha na rin ang kanilang mga constituents na sa Iligan at binalik na rin doon sa munisipyo nila. So ibig sabihin, matagal na itong nangyayari. Oo. Although kasi ito, karamihan sa mga concerns ng ating IDP sa Iligan ay bumalik dito sa residente. Well, in fact, kailangan din ng security yung concern ng security nila, kailangan well in place na ma-address. Gusto natin na may apply ito, may implement ito in all municipalities. So, ang mga mayors ang pupunta doon, susunduin yung mga IDPs nila, tapos dadalhin, magpo-provide ang provincial capital ng transportation, pati na rin ang task of Ranaw magpo-provide ng security pa doon sa eventual transfer ng ating mga IDPs sa mga munisipyo. Balikan ko na rin, isa rin sa issue, not only the security but also yung provisions, yung pag-rationalize natin doon sa provision. Dahil may mga complaints talaga tayo na natatanggap. Karamihan sa mga IDPs dyan sa Iligan City hindi nakakatanggap ng mga binibigay na donations dahil nga mas nauuna yung minsan may mga uuna na naka-enlist doon na hindi naman talaga IDPs but really a local in the area. So dahil doon na-focus, doon yung concentration ng donation sa Iligan, para at least ma-unburden din ng Iligan para to take care of our IDPs, tayo na mismo ang magsisecure sa kanila at saka para ma-distribute at saka para meron tayong actual na data mas malapit sa atin. Under sila sa province, ang mga munisipyo, mas maganda, mas convenient, mas may access tayo in terms of yung delivery ng mga goods kasi meron talaga tayong kumbaga under yung ating mga munisipyo at mas maganda yung coordination with the provincial government and the municipal government kaysa pupunta ka pa ng Iligan City which is completely, totally under a different region. Well, yung mga IDPs natin sa Iligan City, yung sa tala pa natin, no? Tala natin sa provincial government dahil ito yung nabigyan natin ng disaster access card na sa 53,000 families ang nasa tala natin. So, ang gusto natin makipag-coordinate with ang tala kasi ng provincial government kaya medyo may pagkaiba sa tala ng national government. Dahil yung sa atin, meron kasing area of assignment na tinatawag. A week before, after the fighting, during the first early days ng fighting, umupo na ang DSWD National with other regions para i-identify yung areas kung saan yung area of assignment doon may bibigay sa particular region na yun. Ibig sabihin, kung sa Cagayan de Oro, Iligan City, may mga evacuation sites dyan na under sa Region 10 DSWD para yung distribution ng relief hindi magpatong-patong at hindi, halimbawa, hindi makalimutan yung other areas. So, ang DSWD sa province, naibigay sa atin yung sa Marawi City, naibigay sa atin yung itong na-mention ko na mga evacuation sites, pati mga home base sa Iligan. So, yun ang sineserve natin. So, yun ang napipresent natin na data sa public, sa media. Meron na tayong 296,000 individuals ang sineserve natin, nabigyan natin ng access card, yung green card. So ang sa national kasi, pati na rin yung data manggagaling sa other regions, Region 10, kinoconsolidate nila yung sa ARMM, DSWD. So kung dun sa tanong mo ron, kung ilan yung possible na ibabalik natin, makikipag-coordinate din tayo with the national government insofar as the other evacuation centers that are being handled by Region 10. So that once we have the complete data and once we coordinate with the local chief executives of each the towns in Lanao del Sur, we will already provide transportation and their eventual return to their host municipalities here in the province. Well, yung sa una yun, isa yun sa mga na-receive natin na complaints, no? Although we don't want to specify the area, no? There are complaints that our IDPs, pag naglumilinya sila, yung mga talagang IDPs na fleeing resident from Marawi City, mga evacuees, hindi yung maabot sa kanila yung kanilang mga nabibigay na mga donations simply because they already have, I guess, the host area kung saan sila naroon, meron silang ding tala ng mga IDP. Sometimes these are locals, no? So pag nagdi-distribute yan ng food packs, minsan hindi sila nakakatanggap ng ganun. So that's why ang gusto natin para itong mga complaints na ito, itong mga concerns na ito, tayo na mismo ang mag-alaga sa ating mga home-based IDPs dahil after all mga Maranao sila. So it's really our responsibility na tayo na ang mag-alaga sa mga IDPs na nasa ibang lugar. Yes.
We're talking about the ongoing firefight there in Marawi. And of course, hindi naman siguro natin matatawagin natin yung napakaraming tao. Ayun, kung ano
But there's going to be, of course, a dapat systematic yung kanilang pagdarating dito. Kaya nga mag-uusap-usap, isa-strengthen natin yung coordination with the provincial and the local chief executives na lahat ng mga munisipyo. So, of course, there's going to be a systematic approach, no? Para hindi mas masyadong magkakaroon ng problema in terms of safety, in terms of kanilang yung provide natin, no, na transportation. Number one, kailangan muna nating ma-secure yung access road, no? Yung access road. Kaya maraming usapin kasi yan eh. Unang-una, yung link kung paano natin sila ita-transport. Of course, hindi natin madaanan ang Banggulo. That's number one. Hindi po pwede. And then, kaya nga, we will closely coordinate with our military partner para ma-ensure yung smooth flow of transporting these evacuees to their host municipalities. That includes the road connection, yung safety ng highway, pati na rin yung tala nung mga number of IDPs. Sa parte ng provincial government, meron naman tayong list sa kanila, meron tayong data. We only have to coordinate with the local chief executives para ma-identify natin yung number of people. So this is already an ongoing mechanism. In fact, what I've mentioned earlier, ang Taraka, nagawa na ng Taraka, ang munisipyo ng Bacolod, Calawi. It's only a matter of, other local chief executives to follow suit. Yes, at saka malayo naman yung mga munisipyo yan.
Iba naman.
Yes, malayo yung mga munisipyo.
George, iba yung context ng tanong mo. Ang konteksto dito ay yung mga adjacent municipalities ang pinag-uusapan dito. No, it's not the Marawi area. Oh.
Ibig sabihin lang po, kasi I'm wondering, saan sila nataan? Kasi parang kung pinadaan din sila dito bayan Marawi, so baka ako, may security concerns lang sir, na baka hamper pa sa military operations. So that's one point lang sir na baka kailangan i-clarify.
Well, ang armed forces naman natin ay hindi naman siya mag-institute ng isang mechanism na talagang hindi na pag-aralan, hindi na assess, walang consultation. So lagi po natin ginagawa itong mga bagay na to before we will make a plan is a thorough consultation with the different stakeholders At syempre bilang sundalo, ang competency namin ay tignan kung ang mga kababayan natin ay secured, safety sila. So, etong usapin na to ay talagang part ito ng kabuuan ng rehabilitation and reconstruction program na initiate ng especially on the local level and the national level. At ang armed forces dito ay talagang nakatutok on security matters. Kaya nga po natin hindi hinahayaan ang ating mga kababayan na masaktan. Ayan ang yung primordial concern natin. So we ensure that, of course, first and foremost, we ensure the safety and security of the people.
So you call this an ongoing effort?
Yes.
George, I'd like to reiterate, no, itong mekanismo na to, na-design na ito matagal na. So, ongoing ito na nangyayari, ongoing ito na ini-implement na natin, no. Kaya nga lang, dahil nga yung concern ng ating mga residente, naintindihan naman natin talaga sila sa Iligan City na gusto na nilang bumalik, no, sa Marawi. So, gusto nating paigtingin, gusto natin magkaroon din ng coordination at saka yung ating mga local chief executives na lahat ng mga residente dyan, mga evacuees dyan sa Iligan City, na mga ano naman nila, mga constituents naman nila, no, ay bigyan na lang nila ng pansin at dalhin sa kanilang munisipyo. So, yun nga, ongoing ito, matagal na ito na mekanismo. Yun nga lang, dahil nga sa concern ng ating mga IDPs, kailangan din nating i-invite, no, ang all the local chief executives across Lake Lanao.
Ibig sabihin, ang kukuhanin lang ng mga municipalities ay yung residente nila.
Yes.
Mga residents from Marawi City.
Well, they are residents from Marawi City. But remember, ang Marawi City kasi is the capital city of Lanao del Sur. The Maranaos do business in the city. They go to school may mga eskwelahan dyan. Kumbaga, kaya nga nakita natin na yung attack, although it started in Butig, no? Actually, ang attack dito sa Marawi, it's not only sa Marawi lang. It started in Butig. Why do I say that? Because the same group who attacked Butig is the same group who attacked Marawi. So makikita natin yung approach dapat natin yan, and understanding natin sa crisis na ito ay hindi lang nag-uumpisa sa Marawi. Nag-uumpisa yan sa Butig, sunod ang Piagapo and Marawi City. So makikita natin yung impact ng Marawi City crisis. Actually, it paralyzes the entire province. Dahil sa road connectivity nga, nakita natin kung bakit mayroong 11 towns from the Basak area, in the Basak area, hindi na sila makabilin, yung movement nila, hindi sila makabilin na maski yung simple provisions. It's because of that, because Marawi City is being held hostage, kumbaga, kung sabihin natin. So, yung mga constituents na from other towns, residente ng Marawi City. But originally, kung saan sila bumoboto, kung saan sila nakaregister, doon sa mga towns nila. So, we would like to make use of that in order to, again, to unburden Iligan City, and also for our PSWD and the DSWD ARMM to have, in the province as well, to have a clear and accurate distribution of relief goods pagdating doon sa pangangailangan ng ating mga evacuees pag nasa jurisdiction natin sila. Kasi mahirap kasi pag sa Iligan, that's a different region, and you have to deal with, again, with the local chief executives, with the LGU of Iligan, before you can even, make sure of the rationalization, the rationing of the provisions that are to be distributed in most of in all the evacuation sites in their city. So, we will make sure na there will be directly under our jurisdiction.
But are there worries dun sa mga local chiefs na baka sa kanila naman magkaroon ng congestion?
Well, sa unang-una, pwede naman sila kasi meron naman tayong ang DSWD National magpo-provide nga sila ng yung mga temporary shelter, mga tents diyan. Ang provincial government nagbigay ng each munisipyo ng isang gymnasium. Walang munisipyo sa province na walang gymnasium yan. So, we will make use of that. So, unang-una, may mga kamag-anak sila dito sa mga munisipyong ito. Pwede rin sila maging home base, no? But aside from that, the DSWD National and the ARMM would also provide yung mga tents para doon may ma-place doon sa mga evacuation centers. So I don't think we have 39 municipalities, no? The number of our evacuees are I guess 300,000 plus. If you distribute that to all the 39 municipalities, I don't see any reason why the local chief executive will have a problem, no, hosting their constituents. In fact, the provincial government has already declared under a state of calamity, and we encourage all the municipalities to also follow suit in order for them to access the 5% calamity fund. So meron naman tulong aside from the support that we get from the national and the regional government. So meron na silang automatic na budget for that. Okay, ulit.
Ang ginawa natin kasi dyan ay through strong coordination with the LCEs, sila rin yung tumutulong sa atin to identify those involved in these terroristic activities. Yung mga terrain na yan, especially yung Lanao Lake, we intensify our defense system like providing enough vessels, watercrafts doon. At ito ay ating ginagawa upang ma-block yung possible escape route and reinforcement ng mabuti. So ito, these are all considered or all possible exit and entries were given attention. So nailatag na natin yan. And as part of our coordination, yung mga local chief executives natin and the adjacent municipalities are helping us to defend their communities, helping us in addressing security measures. So yun yung ginagawa natin dito sa Marawi and the adjacent municipalities.
I'm Cielo from China Central Television. My question is given to Sir Harila. I would like to know, because although now Marawi City is divided into safe room and war zone, but according to the police, they still discourage people to go back to Marawi City because they said that even the safe zone is not so safe now. So would you please tell us why? And I would like to know, do we still have any stray bullets reports accident recently?
We are very much aware of the concern of the people of Marawi, of the eagerness to come back home. And because of the ongoing hostile situation, especially in the main battle area, the armed forces have initiated series of dialogues and consultations with the different stakeholders to inform them of the possible tragedy or possible strategy that will incur to the people that who want to go back to Marawi City. Right now is we are doing our best to finish the job as soon as possible because we intend also to help Marawi to normalize and let the people go back to their own places. But for now, we intend to appeal to the people of Marawi to understand what is happening because there, as you mentioned, there are still stray bullets coming from the main battle area, and we intend also to ensure that the houses, the buildings are cleared from IED and other war materials that may inflict pain and casualty to the people. So what we are doing now is a continuous dialogue, especially to the respective leaders to inform and increase awareness of what is really happening here. So we need time, we need more time to coordinate with them, talk with them, and explain to them the possible strategy that might happen if they will pursue this march or going here on the 24th of July. Yeah.
And another question is, according to the press briefing happened in Paris today, like yesterday we only cleared the buildings 17. That number is much less than before. Usually we clear the buildings around 50. So I would like to know why the progress is slowed down.
Well, what is happening on the main battle area is the call of our tactical commanders. We continuously pushing toward to the center of the gravity of the enemy, and we are gaining more grounds, gaining areas. Those buildings that were previously occupied by the Maute are now occupied by the government forces. We have controlled vantage positions, and it's a matter of time, okay, that we will be able to neutralize the remaining local terrorist group, to secure and save the trapped civilians, and of course be able to push forward for the rehabilitation and reconstruction program for Marawi City. Opo, continuous naman po yung ginagawa nating combat clearing operations in the main battle area. Marami tayong nakukuhang mga buildings, especially on the buildings that were previously occupied. Ibig sabihin nito, mga dating defensive position ng Maute ay atin nang nakontrol, nakuha natin. So ito ay nagpapahiwatig na talagang puspusan, nagpapahiwatig din yung magandang integration ng mga capabilities natin on the ground. So sabi ko nga it's matter of time ma-neutralize natin yung remaining local terrorists. Well, I can't confirm yet of the cleared buildings right now. We have to get more information kasi continuous pa rin yung combat clearing operations.
We heard that joint task force so can you give us an idea of what's going to happen today?
Yes, George, today 1 o'clock yung schedule. Members of the task group Bangon Marawi will be here to conduct its first consultation and meeting regarding the rehabilitation of Marawi City. So among the attendees would be assistant secretaries and undersecretaries of each departments, member of the task force Bangon Marawi. So they will get the proposal from the city and from the province para i-consolidate nila yan. Kasi nga dun sa Administrative Order number 3, ang nakasulat doon is for the local chief executives or the local government units to assist the task force Bangon Marawi para doon sa pag-collect and pag-consolidate ng data. But our appeal now, let me just reiterate our appeal na the local government units of Marawi and the province of Lanao have already voiced their concern regarding the participation of the local chief executives in the planning and even the basic planning planning of the task force Bangon Marawi. Ang gusto ng ating probinsya at ng city ay ma-involve sila directly, not only to assist but ma-involve sila even dun sa pag-identify ng mga areas na yon. So si Secretary Lorenzana is welcoming naman dun sa idea. In fact, ang sabi niya, nasa level na niya yung may power siya based doon sa administrative order na ipa-include niya kung ano yung sa palagay niya ang kailangan na masali member, no, a member ng Task Force Bangon Marawi. So yun nga, the appeal of the local chief executives is to be a member, no, to be a member of the Task Force Bangon Marawi. So ngayon may scheduled na meeting today at 1 p.m. later.
As of now, ilang barangay lang po ang control dito?
Well, doon pa rin tayo sa portion ng apat na barangay. Pero nakikita natin na sobrang laki na nung area na na-cover natin. Yes, ang concentration ay nandun sa center nung apat na barangay.
Mirasol?
We are very much aware, no. The commander-in-chief, no, is very much aware of the dynamics and the complexities of the main battle area. At ang ginagawa natin ay nagbibigay tayo ng update sa kanya sa mga nangyayari. Second is we have our units. Andito yung mga different capabilities nila to ensure that we will finish the mission as soon as possible. So ang ginagawa po natin ay talagang we are trying our best. Okay, we did not set any deadline for now. So let our commanders do the groundworks while our planners support yung nangyayari doon sa main battle area.
Okay, sa part naman ng civilian authorities, we maintain naman na it's the it's based on the Constitution. It's the prerogative of the President to declare and to place any area within the Philippines under martial law. Pag merong threat, no, there's a rebellion, there's any threat or anything that would present inimical to the interest of the national, inimical to the national interest. So we ano naman yun we respect naman yun kasi power yun ng ating presidente. Honestly, wala sa ngayon ang pinaka-concern ngayon ng provincial government with regards to the response natin sa ating mga evacuees ay para mabigyan sila ng sapat na tulong. Mapunta sila doon sa mga areas na mas may direct supervision tayo with the local government chief executives ng mga munisipyo. Mabigyan sila ng sapat ng pangangailangan in terms of medicine, in terms of food provisions. Ayun ang actually ang concern. Even if we go and check all the evacuees in the evacuation sites, ang pinaka-concern talaga nila yon. So yung nakita natin ng martial law, pagdating doon sa the suspension of the writ of habeas privilege of the writ of habeas corpus. So yun lang ang nakikita natin, no. Marami sa amin ngayon na experience yung martial law before. It's not the same as the martial law of today. Yun lang yung sa atin. Actually, yung concern talaga natin ng provincial government, pati ang city, at saka yung ating mga evacuees, ay para magkaroon ng direct na supervision sa kanila. Para yung lahat ng mga concerns nila, pagbalik sa mga tahanan, pati na rin yung mga pagkain, mga gamot, ay may bigay na sa kanilang diretso at mas convenient para sa atin yung distribution nito. Well, number one, I guess our military partners very alam naman nila yung stand natin dito. Pagdating doon sa recommendation, it's in fact the prerogative or it's within the power of the military to recommend because that's already the safety issue, no? It's the military. It's well connected with the ongoing military insofar as maintaining the security and safety of the community. So insofar as the humanitarian crisis, yun ang participation ng civilian authorities. Ang panawagan naman natin, if there's going to be an extension of martial law, we request also the national government to be as aggressive enough to supply the needs of our evacuees. We've been very, very consistent on that, and I guess the military respect our standing on this. Ang gusto natin is not only to deal with this crisis on the military aspect, but as well as the crisis that may come after that, that is brought about by this ongoing conflict, meaning the civilians, the victims of this crisis, the civilians, yung needs nila. So we have to be aggressive enough, and not only for for providing the needs of our evacuees in their present state right now, but to also make certain that the expediency of providing the rehabilitation needs of Marawi City shall be put in place. Yun ang position natin doon. I think on the premise of suspending the privilege of writ of habeas corpus, it will not become a hindrance for the national government to pursue the rehabilitation stage for Marawi City. It's only a matter of legality, and the Supreme Court has already made a ruling on that in terms of the constitutionality of martial law, since it is very much entrenched in the provision of the Constitution. And I guess based on the accounts of many, since the start of this conflict, our military has been very respectful in terms of the human rights ng ating mga tao. So ang sa atin lang, pag na-extend ito, because ang proposal ng military ay base doon sa security issue, sa ongoing military offensive, pati na rin yung pag-secure sa community. Ang sa ating participation natin ay doon sa humanitarian aspect. So, kung merong extension ng martial law, gusto din natin na kung aggressive ang ating national government pagdating sa ating military offensive, ganun din ang pag-aggressive dapat ng ating national government pagdating doon sa pagsugpo o pagbigay ng ating tulong sa ating mga bakwet.
Well, part yun ng ating part and parcel ito ng aming kampanya dito sa ongoing focus military operations. Remember, tayo po ay nasa offensive. The enemies are the one occupying defensive position, high-rise buildings. So, this is part of the challenges that we are facing every day. Itong casualties. As of now, meron na tayong 97 total. As of yesterday, ng 1,800. Yes, as of yesterday ng 1,800, we have incurred 405 enemies killed. We have recovered from the main battle area 511 firearms. So the same pa rin yung ano natin, civilians killed by the Maute, 45. And civilians rescued inside the main battle area is 1,723. So that's the update for the of the data in the main battle area. Yes, as of 1,800 kahapon yesterday. Well, doon sa ating report ay naglalaro siya from 60, more or less 60. More or less 60. Well, tayo ang mas nagiging more aggressive, no? Your armed forces are very much capable to finish the job. In fact, marami na tayong mga dating sugatan na nandun uli sa main battle area, no? Because ito ang inspirasyon ng mga tropa, no? Inspirasyon ng mga sundalong sugatan ang bumalik doon to be with their troops and finish the job. Unang-una ay kami po ay nakafocus no? Yung Joint Task Force Marawi ay nakafocus sa aming mission to neutralize the remaining local terrorist group and rescue the trapped civilians. As of now, yun po yung focus namin. Wala po akong confirmation sa mga sinasabi ni that particular person. I cannot confirm or provide any reaction doon sa ano. Well, itong ongoing operations natin is not purely military. Meron dito, nakaangkla dito yung people-centered security approach. Kung makikita mo yung seamless integration ng community, local government unit, the people, kasama natin dito ang buong madla laban sa terorismo. And one aspect ng military is yung nandun sa main battle area. I think I'm not the best person to comment that. You can raise that later during the press briefing after the 1 o'clock meeting with the mga secretaries. So, tayo is we have a very good monitoring system. Meron tayong mga parameters. Okay. We respect their opinions. However, we are very much capable to undertake this mission. Alam naman natin na yung terorismo o yung terrorist ay meron siyang support system. Okay? Alam naman natin yung connections, familial ties. Hindi natin dinidiscount yon. However, your armed forces are very much capable to undertake the job. Okay? We have the best people on the ground. We have the best capabilities. And we are optimizing this leadership capabilities to finish the job as soon as possible.
Actually, Mirasol, the participation of their group were made possible through the peace corridor. Even during the early days of the fighting, there were attempts of rescuing trapped civilians from the encounter area. And they already did assist us, the civilian authorities, to secure a quite number of civilians that were rescued from this trapped civilian, from the encounter area. And I guess that's the participation of the third, yung sinasabi ng third party, yung pag-rescue. And it's very, very clear na this is under the OPAP, the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, to use the MILF and GPH contingent to be an additional system to support and to also assist the civilian authorities and as well as the military in securing trapped civilians that are inside the combat zone. So yun yung participation nila, I guess. Well, actually, ang engagement natin with our civilian people's organization and yung mga NGOs is to include them in our attempts to really fight the growing number or increasing number of radicalization and extremism. We are focused on part of the rehabilitation really is to engage with and to mobilize the neglected sector. Sinasabi natin ang ating religious sector because they will play a very important role in trying to counter the increasing number of radicalization and extremism. I was very I've said it in many of my interviews in the past that the fight in Marawi City does not and will not end here, no, in Marawi, but this will go on unless we have a multi-sectoral approach in dealing with the threat of extremism. And part of our plan really is to engage closely and to partner the civilian authorities with our religious sector para ma-counter yung threat ng extremism and radicalization. Yes.
So what's our plan for the residents, for the legitimate residents of Marawi?
Well, unang-una, meron tayong plano dyan, but we still have to wait for the actual fighting, no, to be over. Remember, ang primary concern ng civilian ng province, pati na rin ng city, is yung safety ng ating mga civilians. Hanggang ngayon ay meron pang fighting engagement, no, na nangyayari dyan. But slowly, we would like, kasi sa totoo lang, kami rin po dito sa probinsya, gusto namin may balik sa normal ang pamumuhay. But we have to do it slowly, and we have to do it in such a way na coordinated ito with the military, with our military partner. Dahil sila naman yung nagpo-provide sa atin ng security. Hindi po kaya ng probinsya at ng city na mag-provide ng seguridad sa mga residente natin sa Marawi City. Ang pwede lang po mag-provide niyan ay ang military. That's why we have to consult with the military if it's safe enough for the return of evacuees. I believe even within the controlled area, they do not even advise for the return of our residents to permanently reside their houses because it's not yet conducive for habitation. That's why itong concern na ito, we are trying to propose a different alternative, an option. And one of that is number one, itong mga momentarily, no, temporarily to house our evacuees from Iligan City to be hosted by different municipalities across the lake para number one, ma-unburden. Our position really is number one, ma-unburden ng Iligan City. Number two is mas direct yung supervision natin and jurisdiction natin sa mga evacuate na ito. Dahil nga, gusto natin proper at ma-rationalize natin yung relief response natin sa pangangailangan ng ating mga evacuees. Exactly. Pati na rin yung bulk of donations, minsan doon nafo-focus sa Iligan City. Yes, oo. So, yes, sa Balui, wala naman tayong problema doon sa Balui. Mostly, ang mga concerns na natatanggap natin ay mga evacuees home-based tsaka evacuees sa Iligan City. Yun talaga yung pinaka-bulk of concerns, no? Dahil yung concentration of donations doon na nahuhulog sa Iligan City. So, ang gusto natin, magkaroon talaga tayo ng direct supervision dahil that they will be now directly under our jurisdiction. So, ang DSWD National, lahat ng region na tutulong sa atin, directly na makikipag-ugnayan na sa atin sa city tsaka sa provincial government. Well, Balui is, we have no problem with Balui. Yes, kasi, yes, oo. May mga kamag-anak naman din sila doon. So, we can also make use of this, sinabi ni Colonel, yung familial ties, no? Ang Maranao, very clannish. So, we can also make use of this as a means to, at least to minimize the problem na yung sufferings ng ating mga evacuees sa Iligan City. So meron tayong church, meron na talagang sistema dyan, paano yung slowly yung return ng ating mga residente, especially here in the controlled area. That would depend on the the recommendation of our military, because as I've said, they are providing us with the security, no? Ang security ng community natin, not only on the individual evacuees, but they're actually securing the entire city. So as soon as we can say that we are already, the entire Marawi City is safe now for habitation, for the permanent return of our evacuees, and that's the time that we can actually mobilize and put into motion our plan and for the return of our evacuees. So that would depend on the actual fighting when it will over.
Mukhang masyado yatang specific yung detalye na yan, no? Well, ang masasabi ko lang sa inyo is that is a operational detail that we cannot disclose. Okay. Remember, there are people in the main battle area na pwedeng, because of this disclosure of any detail, can cost their lives. Now, I hope you understand. Yeah. Well, of course, meron tayong monitoring dito. We are very much aware. Kaya nga yung mga, sasabihin ko na lang, no, 1,723 ang nailigtas ng inyong armed forces. I think that is already a measure of effectiveness. No? Doon sa ginawa nating series of rescue operations, of course with our partner LGU. At yun ang nagpapatibay kung bakit tayo po ay talagang we give primordial concern dun sa safety ng mga tao. Well, yes, it's ano naman, meron yung mga MOS, no? Talagang ito no fire zone or no target area itong mga ito. It's not only the presence of the civilian, but we also give respect to these vital installations. So yun yung ano natin dito.
So let's, I guess, last two questions lang. Oh yeah. Sa ngayon, we requested Darul Ifta Regional Darul Ifta to sit down with SOCO para ma-layout nila yung paano. Kasi number one, mayroong cultural and religious sensitivity dun sa issue na yon. Remember sa Islam, pag may namatay, automatic dapat within 24 hours may libing. But this is a special case. Some of the cadavers, in fact, mga skeletal remains na sila kasi more than 50 days na tayo, ay nandyan for since the time na kung saan sila na biktima, no, yung oras na yun. So, gusto natin magkaroon ng clear-cut definition, the approach of our Darul Ifta insofar as the handling of the dead bodies. When will they be buried? Asan sila po pwedeng i-bury? Kasi yung pag time na magkakaroon ng temporary burial, payag ba ang ating ang Darul Ifta na pag may claimant doon sa na yon, sa biktima na yon, ay pwede ring i-exhume at saka ibibigay sa mga complainant. So mga ganong issues ang dapat nating magkaroon ng clear-cut na approach. Ano yung masasabi ng atong Darul Ifta? So far, ang gusto natin, yung 28 na cadavers na were already undergone forensic examination, post-mortem examination, will be buried immediately sa temporary burial. Based doon sa discussion sa NEOC, yung National Emergency Response Center ng National sa Iligan City, nagkaroon ng discussion with the provincial and city government na yung site wherein they can be temporarily buried will be in Macbara within the city. Meron tayong lupa for public cemetery ito na ipoprovide natin ng probinsya, ipoprovide na province of Lanao del Sur na maging temporary site for temporary burial, yung makukuha natin ng mga cadavers dyan. Yun nga, kaya kailangan natin muna, doon as far as yung mga Muslim, no, mga maranaw na mga nabiktima dyan, kailangan natin magkaroon ng legal opinion. Kasi mga jurisconsult ito yung mufti are jurisconsult. Magkaroon tayo ng legal opinion, kasi sila yung may authority niyan Wala tayong authority to decide kung po pwede ba yung temporary burial or pag meron ng mga claimant, i-exhume mo yung remains tapos ibibigay sa kanila. So until such time na the SOCO and the Darul Ifta will will sit down and have a statement on that, ang ang sagot natin dyan ay hindi pa sa ngayon. Dahil I guess the only participation of the local chief executive or the local government units insofar as the issue of burial of these dead bodies, of these remains, is the location where we can identify as the possible site for the burial. On the question of when and how, it's actually based on the recommendation of our number one experts, which is the SOCO, and also the Darul Ifta. So they will decide when and how these remains will be buried. Ang sa atin lang, meron tayong burial site.
So, sir, sa ngayon wala pang burial site?
Meron na. Sa Makbara. Dito lang, sa Marawi lang. Yes,
Sa ngayon na wala pang narinig?
So far, wala pa po.
Saan ngayon
Nasa Iligan. Mag-uusap po, magsiset po tayo, na-coordinate na po natin ng SOCO, pati na rin po ng Darul Ifta regional, no? Darating po sila today and then mag-i-initiate po tayo ng dialogue, mag-sit down po sila, mag-uusap po sila para sila na po yung mag-decide kung kailan po pwede. Pero ang panawagan po ni Regional Governor at saka ni Vice Gov Bombit Alonto Adjong is yung 28 na remains na they were undergone forensic examination, kung pwede ay may libing na. So, yun nga, inaantay natin kung ano yung magiging response ng SOCO at saka ng Darul Ifta.
yun pa yung sa akin, sir, sa Iligan.
I think merong mga funeral home sa Iligan kung saan doon sila nailagay. Hindi ko lang alam yung eksakto ng mga funeral homes. Ang bilis mo, George.
Yeah. Nagkaroon na tayo ng coordination with the Bureau of Fire and with our 1st Infantry Battalion. So nagkaroon na kaagad ng action to address the incident. Ngayon ongoing yung investigation ng Bureau of Fire regarding sa cause ng fire sa Sadok, Barangay Sadok.
So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Meron pa kayong i-cover na meeting? Sorry, for last statement, sir.
Anyway, maraming salamat. May boses din ako kala ko Anyway, kami yung sa Joint Task Group Tabang, so we are in charge of the civil-military operations activities dito sa under ng Joint Task Force Marawi. So ngayon naman, ang ginagawa namin is, kagaya nga sabi kanina, is we are engaging with IDPs in different evacuation centers. Unang-una, para matulungan yung mga ahensya ng gobyerno, we assess the needs and the problems or concerns in the different IDP centers. At may paabot namin ito sa mga kaukulang ahensya ng gobyerno. And second, we are also going there to explain to our constituents in Marawi that this is not the right time to go back to Marawi City. Yun ay pinapalawanag namin sa kanila bakit hindi pa ngayon ang tamang panahon. At ang sinasabi nga natin, ang objective ng gobyerno ng Lanao del Sur at ng military ay ang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan. So maganda naman yung nagiging pagtanggap sa amin at sana ay may maunawaan ng ating mga kababayan na malapit na yung tamang panahon para sila makabalik at mamuhay na uli ng normal dito sa Marawi City. Maraming salamat.
Ate, tarka ka nun. Pag-impik siya, ha? Oo, kukunin daw yan kaninang kape, ha? Si Sir Ron lang. Hindi, bibigyan kayo. Bibigyan kayo ng kape. Meron na ako nito, pero may mga Pagbigyan na lang